I'd come to Gorongosa Park in the centre of Mozambique to explore the landscape and make some colour-type images. The park kindly gave us access provided we took their driver and an armed guard. Today the plan was to drive out to the Lion House, an iconic ruin out on the floodplain. On the way we passed the Musikadzi River, which was just too good to pass by. So we stopped and I set up the 12x15 camera on the riverbank. This camera was made by Watson & Sons in London around the turn of the century. Now, these old cameras always have issues. The dark slide's held together with tape. It needs repairing. It's a real struggle to get it back in. The exposure was going to be an hour at f40. So we set up the camera and left it, and our driver Simba took us onto the Lion House to shoot that with the 10x8. Baptisha, the armed guard, wandered off to see his mates. By now it was getting very hot. There were a few curious waterbuck to be seen over the plains, but luckily no sign of the lions. In the 40s, the Portuguese park management thought it would be a good idea to build a tourist lodge on the floodplain. The lodge was completed, but flooded in the first wet season was never used. All that's left is the small reception building known as the Lion House, getting its name from the pride of lions who moved in after it was abandoned. With that exposure done, we headed back to the river to see how the 12x15 was doing. When I reached the camera, I was surprised to see the lens was off and lying on the ground. The thing was, I'd forgotten to make a lens board for this lens for this camera, so I'd had to tape the lens on with duct tape. The sun had moved around, the heat had weakened the adhesive until the lens had dropped off sometime during the exposure. As I was standing there looking at the lens, there was this sudden thrashing in the water. I managed to wake up a sleeping crocodile, who dived under pretty fast, but it still made me jump. All in all, not a bad morning. I was a bit disappointed about the view downriver. That's a good excuse to go back.